My name is José Antonio Paredes and I am tourist guide here in the city of Toledo and in Madrid. I welcome you to this historical city, which is like a small summary of the history of Spain. On the one hand, all the people who have written the history of Spain were present here. The Romans, the Visigods, the Moorish, the Jews, the Christians. It was the capital of Emperor Charles V. It was the center of the Spanish Empire, and it is a city, small but very concentrated in history. On the other hand, Toledo was the meeting point of two worlds. The East and the West met in this city, in this region, during centuries and centuries. Sometimes with splendid convivence, with strong learning from each other, sometimes with hard and bloody persecutions. It is the youth hostel in Toledo. It's an impressive one. The building is a castle charged with history. It was built by the Arabs for defending the entrance in the city and was a property of the chivalry order of the Knights of the Temple in Jerusalem, who were present in this city in the 12th century. Today, it's a very good hostel. For me, it's the best one in Spain, or the best I know, with rooms for two persons, only for two persons, with a very beautiful decoration and with a splendid garden from which you can see the city and the river. So it's a good place for living in Toledo, for being at night in Toledo, because Toledo deserves a visit in the night. Well, the bridge in which we are now is called the Bridge of Alcantara. Alcantara is an Arabic word who means the bridge. So this bridge is called the bridge. It was built in Roman times and rebuilt in Arabic period. And it was the only bridge until the 14th century. Here I like especially the gate and the city walls. This place is a beautiful place for thinking in the past, for dreaming with the Arabic period. And is a place with a military meaning. It speaks us about the defense of the city, about the time in which the city of Toledo was in the border of the two worlds and was the witness of combats and fightings. And the bridge is beautiful as well in the night. In the night we can see the reflex of the city, and it's a lonely place for coming here after a day of work. Close to the bridge there is a path. It's an ecological path or way for walking, for seeing the river, the fishes, the birds, and so on. It's nature in contact with history. I am a poor man because I have two jobs. I job as a tourist guide, but I work as a teacher as well in a secondary school. And that is a beautiful opportunity for coming in contact with young people. I like to come to this city with my students to pass here one night and one day for coming in contact with our past. As I told you, Toledo is like a summary of the history of Spain, and I like to come here for dreaming together with my students, for reminding our past, full with chapters, golden chapters and black chapters, and to have a good time here. Okay, I like to spend the night here in the city with my students because at night Toledo is something quite special. It is a city with lonely street with a very special light. It is a city in which you feel that you can meet any person of our history, of the Islamic period, of the Golden Age period, that you can meet Cervantes or Lope de Vega or the astronomer and mathematical Azarquiel, for example. The city is quite solitary. I love that, but it offers possibilities for free time, like restaurants and bars and so on. But the most special thing is this lonely street, this special historical atmosphere.
To enter the city of Toledo, you pass through the majestic stone gate, and then you enjoy the winding streets steeped in history and culture. Toledo was once the capital of Spain, and it still retains the atmosphere and aura which are characteristic of so many European cities.
Como los mares nacen a mis pies, mares de sueños, sueños por nacer, sueños por nacer, como los mares nacen a mis pies, mares de sueños.
Well, my friends, this temple is the Cathedral of Toledo. It is the most important temple in this city, which is the religious capital of Spain. I cannot say that it's the most beautiful cathedral in Spain, because in Spain there are other very beautiful cathedrals. I wouldn't say that it's the most important one, because, for example, the Apostle James is buried in Santiago de Compostela. But I will say, and without doubt, that this is the richest one. Why? Because Archbishops of Toledo were immense rich figures in the history of Spain throughout the centuries. Just to tell you that this cathedral stands in the same place in which stood the former mosque, the great mosque of the city of Toledo. That was a tradition. The Christian conquered a city and they built over the main temple the cathedral. Just like in Mexico, the cathedral in Mexico is built over the Azteca temple. But on his own, the Muslims did the same. Indeed, they built the mosque over the first Visigods cathedral, which probably was built over the old Roman temple. That is not sure, but is probably. This cathedral is an example of Gothic art. It's a good example of the North European trends of art in this city, in which we have seen many monuments of Oriental origin. And it was a very long work, a very long building. They started in the year 1226 and they end in the year 1493. So it took more than 207 years for the building, another concept of time. And inside there is an immense number of treasures, of works of art of different periods, different style. The Plateresque style, which is a fusion of Oriental and Western art, Italian art, frescoes. There is a small collection of painting, but impressive rich, like a small museum of El Prado here in Toledo, with works by Tizian, Raphael, Rubens, El Greco, of course, Goya, Velázquez, and the most important masters. And together with this, you can see the treasure of the cathedral with impressive monstrance for the procession of Corpus Christi, or with the Bible of St. Louis, which is considered among the best illuminated medieval manuscripts in Europe. Together with this, the main altar, with a splendid, the whole representation of the story of the salvation, and in front of the altar, the choir. In the cathedral, you can visit as well the courtyard with a selection of frescoes, a collection of frescoes representing the saints of the city of Toledo, and you can see as well the choir inside the cathedral. The choir with an extraordinary work of sculpture in wood in the chairs, representing the story of the salvation, the Holy War in Granada, and the temptations, the sins, the bad passion in the lower part. This part of the church is one of my favorite works of art in the cathedral. In the choir, I don't want to forget a splendid sculpture of the Virgin, with this prize to the woman and to the mother and to the tenderness of the love of woman.
The quiet, narrow cobblestone streets are designated for foot traffic. One of the traditions in Toledo is taking long stretches of fabric and stretches it from the buildings so it cools the streets. Walking through this historic city is a maze, and around every corner is a new twist and discovery. I love these artistic doors, and they are plentiful throughout Toledo. Toledo is a religious center, bustling with tourists during the day and quiet as a mouse at night. There are several municipal buildings that surround the square. The City Hall proudly displays its flags in the square. Dining is a natural pastime with the freshest dishes. A Jewish mosque still stands. Toledo is also known for its artistic, meticulous, inlaid gold plating. My dream has always been to come to this incredible UNESCO Heritage Site, which is called Toledo, in Spain. And Spain is so magnificent. The people are fantastic, the food is fantastic, the history is fantastic. There's so much to see, but here in Toledo, I think I'm going to leave my heart here, because it's just a place that you want to come and stay and spend maybe weeks and visit all the great little treasures of this great destination. Remember, you only live once. My world is your world. So remember, get up, get out, and travel! This has been an enlightening experience. Look forward to seeing you next week for another adventure around the world. So long for now.
Andarandita, andarandola. Andarandita, andarandola. El puchero en la luz.